All right, welcome to the interview. I want you to state your name for the audience.
I'm Pedro Marcos Nascimento Teles.
And where are you from, Pedro?
I'm from Brazil.
And how long have you been in America?
I moved to America in 2019, so it's been about 7 years.
So about 7 years living in America. So we're going to go back in time a little bit, and I want to talk to you about your childhood and growing up. Tell me a moment in your childhood where you were the happiest. Think of a moment that made you, that you knew that was pure happiness.
When I was reunited with my family time.
Reunited with your family. And how would you describe reuniting with your family?
When we were like gathering together
Mm-hmm.
in special moments, like after dinner time or after a lunch on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So moments like that when you're like ready to watch a movie or just going to outside doing something.
But how old were you when you had that feeling, knowing, okay, this is family time, this is something that I appreciate? What age was it when it clicked in your mind saying, this is something that I need, I want, and I appreciate?
Good question. I think when I was about 12.
So around 12 years old is when that's when the feeling started being like, all right, being around family is something that's a part of me. That's a part of who I am. That's a part of something that I like. 12 years old.
Correct.
All right. All right. So my next question from that is, when was a moment that disappointment and sadness, and you realized that was disappointment and sadness? Tell me a moment when you first realized disappointment or sadness fell upon you, or that you knew of what that was.
The closest memory that comes to my mind is when my granddad was we got the news that my granddad was dead.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very gray and rainy day, and my mom just came and woke us up saying that we had to go to my grandmother's house.
Mm-hmm.
And my granddad was dead. So it was a moment that I didn't know how to express myself, but I realized that I was super, like ground to the sadness and not knowing like what to do, what to say, and I was just feeling very sad about it. I was just very on that moment.
And how old were you at that time?
At the time, I guess I was about 10.
Around 10.
Yeah, around 10.
So you're saying around 10 years old, the feeling of sadness and that heartbreak that you felt with your grandfather passing, that was before the moment of happiness came in, where you realized, okay, family, being in a family structure, being around family and stuff like that was of great importance to you, and stuff like that. So you experienced sadness first, then happiness.
I think it was first. Yeah,
So you think
correct.
sadness was first and then happiness came afterwards?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And jumping from that subject of sadness, so throughout, growing up in adolescence and being a teenager and stuff like that, and comparing it to American versus being in Brazil, now that you live in America and you look back at your childhood from a Brazilian standpoint, not an American standpoint, how would you say your development and growing up in Brazil from a kid to a young adult before coming to America versus how you see yourself now? How do you compare that?
So fun. I guess when it comes to my mind about my character and myself as a human being, I remains a lot the moments that you're talking about. Like when I was the most sad, the most happy, when was the times that I was more reflective. So my childhood and my teenager times was very mixed with a lot of emotions. I experienced many things too early. I had a stepfather. I didn't grow up with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these things clicked in my mind very um in a traumatic way, not just in a sad moment, but always when I was happy. Um, I learned myself without having exactly people or just a superior image of how to be or how to act in a certain way. So I figured out like things very early and for myself, you know,
So being self-taught.
being self-taught.
So going through emotions of sadness, happiness, being grounded, and a sense of knowing who you are as a person are things that you say that you developed and you came to terms with on your own without being taught.
Yes.
So you would say that is an experience when you look back at your childhood and how you became an adult in Brazil. That's how you look back and see yourself and how you rose
Yeah,
to where you are.
I see also that my mother had a big difference
Mm-hmm.
on teaching life situations or just small things like hey, when you go to this place don't talk to strangers, you know, when you catch a bus just do this thing that thing. uh, but when I came to United States, I probably would say that I experienced same things.
Yeah.
You know, I was learning in a deeper level on how to manage my feelings and how to relate with the world, like about on how I get all this self-doubt, you know, and moments that I didn't know how to express with someone else or a superior figure to help me and guide me more. So when I was in the United States, definitely it was way more strict and in a deeper level.
On a deeper level, because did you feel, because I would say, was it the alone aspect of it? Because you did mention again superior, like having someone to look up to, like would you say that like that person would be like a father figure or something like that you would look
Yes,
up to be like, okay,
correct.
am I doing these things correctly? Or
Exactly.
these are things that I'm supposed to be doing and stuff like that.
I would say that. Yeah, more like a a dad, uh, a masculine energy.
A masculine energy.
A masculine
Okay.
energy, like leading into things that usually mothers don't do it. Right?
Yeah. And how do you think not having masculine energy from childhood to the point you're at now, how do you feel that has affected your development in life?
Having not my dad was very crucial to into my growing up life for sure. But I would say that many other people in my life passed through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if it was just for a short moment,
Yeah.
to show me some example on what this masculine energy looks like,
Yeah.
or hanging out with friends and going to friends' house, telling me uh, more how it is to have a father figure in the house where
Yeah.
I used to miss that more than more than any other child around me. Of course, we also meet people in this journey that also pass through the same things, but not everybody go through the same way that you go. So yeah, that other examples of life, the other father figures or the masculine energy figures that passed through my life taught me a lot as well, and that what I think helped me the most on what make decisions about on what is to be a man or use this masculine energy on.
I like that. That's a really good answer right there. And if you could go back in time, let's say um, in the developmental stages, if you could look back and go back in time, because you are who you are now, and I want to ask you this: are you satisfied and happy with who you have become?
100%.
Without your, so you can say 100% that you're happy and satisfied with who you are right now.
Yes, I would say that I am someone truly determined and grateful.
I'm grateful.
Yeah, I have a lot of gratitude. That's the word. The gratitude about who I am becoming
Mm-hmm.
and what am I going.
Where are you going?
Yeah, because when you look at like moments that you did a lot of mistakes or you didn't know where to go
Mm-hmm.
and what to do,
Yeah.
and looking at myself now, having more consciousness about what can I do and
Yeah.
where can I go, you know,
That's
not
important.
just because of only me, but because of the people that I gathered into my life
Yeah.
that helped me through the feeling of having this energy more grounded, you know. Yeah.
That makes perfect sense right there. And now you're in the Air Force Reserves.
Yes.
You have adapted to American culture because I believe joining the military is an adaptation and being inducted into American culture, because that is something that is big in
Right.
America, which is the military, and a lot of people serve, and it's something that we celebrate here in America. Do you feel the influence of you joining the military has changed your perception on daily life and how you view things in America now? Like, do you feel
100%.
patriotic in an American sense?
I think I've become more educated
More
on
educated.
what is to be serving and being part of an organization,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say a family, right? That you have to be around for the next 8 years, right?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely more patriot in certain aspects,
Yeah.
right? But I'm still building, like since I just joined recently, I'm still building most of my concepts on what is the Constitution, what
Yeah.
we aim for, right? What is our enemy in this moment? What can we do? What things that we are serving, not just in a military aspect of life, but in a general concept on what it is to be a patriot, serving your country, and
Yeah.
your people.
Well, you answered all the questions that I had for you, but my last final question for you is for the future and the things that you have rooted yourself in, joining the military, coming to America, to a place that you weren't born at and stuff like that. Where do you see yourself? And let's say, because like a lot of people would always be like, "Oh, where do you see yourself in a year or 2 years?" I'm gonna say, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years.
10 years. We're gonna fast forward to 10 years, because I know a
Right.
lot of people were like, "Okay, a year from now, a month from now, it may be different." But what is your perception of how do you think you are going to become within 10 years, with the background that you have and all that stuff that you have learned and things like that, and how are you going to use those things to put you 10 years from now, and how do you see yourself from the things you've experienced
Right.
to that point?
Sure. Great question. I think I see myself successful. I see myself a very, I would say, more grounded person with a family, with someone that I love to be around. You know, a great partner, a great mother to my kids. I see myself with a lot of friends that I can build something with it, more than just love and companion, but building great things, right? I see myself doing great things that today I look for. There is one great phrase that someone asked this actor one day, and it was, "Who is your superhero?" And he was 14 years old, and he didn't know what to answer. So after 2 years, they asked the same question to him, and they were like, "Are you your superhero?" And he was like, "No, it's not me, but someone that I see. It's myself in the future. My future self, it's my hero, because that's where I can aim to be and get inspired to." So always when I get this phrase on my mind, I'd be like, okay, so who is the Pedro in the next 10 years, and what is he doing?
Yes.
So yeah, basically things that I say to you will be definitely leading my way in 10 years.
Well, that was perfect, and this was a perfect interview, and I am happy that you were able to be a part of this and share with everybody else. This guy's from Brazil, came to America and was able to transform his life, and now he's Air Force reservist who's protecting our country, and we owe him a debt of gratitude for his selflessness and joining, and thank you again for coming over.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Nice talking to you.